Welcome to another episode of Hoosier Nerds podcast. We should have everybody on here tonight,
But
finally,
instead, it's Chris, Tim, and Mikey.
until Kris joins in later.
Yeah.
Unless he gets mad, then he may not join in. But, um,
We love you.
but anyway, so we're starting this episode. It's been a rough new year in the world of sports and entertainment.
Yep.
Yes.
Past few
Crazy.
days.
Crazy.
I haven't looked at the logistics. I'm guessing they're not playing the Bills game. The Bills and the
No, they're not playing this
they're
week.
not going
I
to play
don't
that
know.
game. I don't know
I
how
don't
they,
Yeah.
how would they reschedule that. There's no
Well,
way.
here's-
I
This is
think
what they
just
said they
wouldn't.
weren't going to play this week, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
yeah. The
means
schedule is
so
the
that
same.
means next week's game for both teams. Obviously, they don't play each other again. So
No.
next week's game for both of them is going to be the normal game. I'm going to assume next week is going to play out exactly the way it's supposed to. Everybody plays their normal teams, blah blah blah.
Right.
The problem is, when do they make up that game?
Well, that's what
Because
they're talking
they can't
about.
they can't really make it up. I mean, I guess you can just have them play almost like back-to-back games in the same week, but then that's kind of fucked up for both teams because then they're gonna have to play 3 games in a.
In a
I mean,
week.
the Bills will get a bye, but then you can't have the Bills play there because it's not like the Bills and the Bengals both can have a bye in the same week because they're in the same conference and there's only one bye team now.
Right.
So it's not like you can have them both play during the Bills' bye because then the Bills would be giving up their thing. The only option I feel like is for them to push the playoffs back a week, which is insane to think about because like logistically, I mean, I don't know the
Yeah,
logistics
all
of
the
how
all
does
the
that
TV
logistically
all the
work
TV
for?
stuff and yeah.
like all the teams, like all like the money, like you book the stadium, the talent, like all of
The
like the vendors,
hotels.
the
Yeah.
hotels. You got
Yeah.
to book all of this stuff, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have to push it back a week. Because the only other thing is, I guess you could leave the Super Bowl the same because the Pro Bowl is played in between the Super
It's
Bowl
right,
and
and they were saying they could delay that,
they
and
could make the
but
Pro
then you
Bowl,
don't
but
have
then
you
you
don't
don't
have
have
a
a
week
bye
off. Well, yeah,
in
you don't have a week
between.
off in between,
So no matter what, something is gonna get screwed up.
and then you're only gonna have a 1 week where there's just one football game.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, and it's not like they can play like halfway. Like their games, like all the games are on Sunday. So what they're gonna play Wednesday, or Thursday, and then have to play, and then one of those teams is gonna have to play again on Sunday. That's
Yeah, there's
a
still
little
way.
crazy.
I don't know if they're gonna.
And they can't just skip the game because then that would like
Why not?
screw.
No,
Because
okay.
Just be a
then if
tie.
the Bengals,
No,
because
listen.
then it would
Okay.
screw up the standings for all the other teams. That
I know this. Yeah, okay. It definitely it will affect. No matter what they choose, it'll affect anything. But um, if let's just say if you don't know what we're talking about, it's Damar Hamlin. He collapsed on the field after getting tackled or whatnot.
and heart attack.
Yes. Did you guys look up any? Like I was looking at videos, like what
I
exactly
was
happened.
watching the game.
Yeah. But like from what was, if you guys didn't know or looked up videos, what happened was he got hit like in his
Oh.
chest, like
By
at
yeah,
the
by
exact
the
like the exact like wrong moment that would disrupt his heartbeat. Like it was within milliseconds. That from what I was told, like if you got hit on either side of that millisecond or something, it wouldn't matter.
right.
So
But it didn't look like that hard of a hit.
no, it was just a
It-
normal
it's just
tackle. It's just wrong time. It's
yeah.
like
I mean, they showed the
happening.
replay, and I was like, I was kind of watching it, not watching it, and I'm like, did he just fall down? And I rewound it,
Yeah.
and like, I mean, he just hit the ground, and I mean, granted, I agree. Don't you know? Mentally, those guys were in that game yesterday, but
No,
Yeah.
they should have in no way like started playing again. As soon as a guy like player like you see players like kneeling around the field, and you can
Yeah.
tell like as soon as they start, once people are doing CPR out in the field, that's when you know you got to reschedule the game
exactly, that's exactly
because
right.
you can't expect these guys to go back out there and then play any amount of. They're just gonna end up
Right.
getting hurt, honestly, because they're gonna not be paying attention.
I
Yeah.
mean, they should, play like I said, they're playing this week. I don't know who they play. They play. I think Buffalo plays Baltimore. Cincinnati plays New England. I think. Or
No,
what the
no,
games
it's
are.
all division. It's a division week, the last week of the season. So everybody plays the division games. So the Pats play the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Or I've got it mixed up.
Yeah, Pats
Yeah.
play the Bills, and the Bengals might play the Ravens. Are the Bengals and the Ravens in the same division? I don't know the AFC South.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, they're in the same division.
I know that somebody plays. Yeah, Bengals play the Ravens.
No.
And Bills and the Patriots play.
No, the Ravens are in the NFC, aren't they?
No, Ravens
Oh,
are the AFC.
Oh,
You
whatever.
high?
Anyway,
That's
yeah.
me.
Uh, but I think from what I listened to the Pat and Aaron Rodgers talk today, and from what I gathered, if the Chiefs win, it doesn't matter. They're number one seed, and they play the Raiders. But anyway, with the Bills and the Bills and the Bengals game, the idea is that they can just void this game out and just go off a winning percentage.
See, that makes sense to me. I just don't know how you can upset the whole playoff system for one game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible. So yeah, I think I would agree. Just one less game than everybody else. Go off the percentages, and it is what it is. Sorry.
We'll see what it
Crazy.
is.
It's
But-
unprecedented, and it's something new. Like NFL never encountered this, so they're learning just as much as anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, they made the right call last night. But just as far as everybody's like, well, how can they go and play on that field? And
Yeah.
because that's what they
They're
have
gonna-
to do.
They're gonna have to go out there and play on that field eventually in their career. You can't
I
just
mean,
Yeah.
the
well,
best thing for them to do is to get back on the field
Yeah.
and play. I mean, what are you going to do? Sit around and stew and think
they're
about
gonna
it all the
take-
time? That's not healthy.
they're gonna take an extra long time before the game, and there's gonna be like a thing if they end
They're
up
gonna-
playing that
Yeah.
game. It's gonna be a thing, and then they're gonna take an extra long halftime. And
I'm sure a lot of players would just walk out.
I can promise the NFL is gonna end up making money at the end of this game. At the end of the day.
All right,
Moving on. And then you
yeah.
have, dude, let's talk about the Raiders.
But I mean, what's there to talk about?
Oh, there's a lot to talk about.
Jared
Diarrhea?
Studham.
Dude, I've been stewing on this since they announced that Carr was not playing on Sunday, which obviously, is it his fault that they just gave up 37 points to the 49ers? No, they still lost. They still gave up 37 points because their defense is shitty. But
Yeah.
here's my take. This is what I'm wondering, and I'm thinking back. Okay, so he signed an extension back earlier this year, right? Or early last year, right? Signed a 3-year extension, right? But there was rumblings whether him and Josh McDaniels were getting along, whether he could adapt to McDaniels' offense. McDaniels knows Stidham from New England,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, does he call plays knowing that they're going to suck to make Carr look bad so they can bench him, so they can make him trade bait at the end of the year? So, where did the offense come
Carr
from?
still needs to. Regardless of the play call, you should.
Carr, I hope he goes somewhere. And
I hope.
I'm
I'm not a big fan of Derek Carr, but he definitely doesn't deserve the dirtiness of getting benched for fucking Jarrett Stidham.
No,
It's Studham, Jared Studham. He's a stud.
He's done nothing. He's been through what, 7 or 9 different head coaches in his career, 6, something like that. He's never badmouthed the Raiders. He's never badmouthed the organization. He got Devontae Adams to come to the team to make them better.
Yeah.
And this is what they give him. And I think that's the shittiest thing I've ever seen a team do. They did the same thing to Marcus Allen, but that was an Al Davis thing, and he was a whole other whack job. But I am wondering if McDaniels has had this in the plan the whole year. Was he's going to replace him with Stidham? I think he likes Stidham better, and that was a whole different offense on that field Sunday than I've seen all year long. So that's just a conspiracy theory, but I don't. I'm not sure he thinks that Derek Carr was his guy from the get go. I think he had plans to get rid of him all along. I really believe that.
Even if Stidham is like kind of good, he's still not going to be like the future of the team. They're going to need to go and like draft a new quarter. He's just going to be like a placeholder until they can get some.
Yeah,
he just needs to be good enough. Which Derek Carr was good enough, my opinion. If you really wanted a new quarterback, go friggin' draft a quarterback.
Go draft another quarterback. But you know what? Keep Carr. Keep him under Carr for a couple years.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what you do.
That's exactly what they should have done. I mean, Carr. He's the leading passer in the Raiders organization. I mean, he's throwing more yards. Statistically, he's a spectacular.
I would like to be the first to welcome Carr as the new head.
He's not going to He's not going to Indianapolis. I'll tell you that.
I don't want him.
They cannot.
I'd rather just deal with a rookie or something.
They can't afford him. I don't think they can afford him. Plus, they've already traded all their draft picks away, haven't they?
I don't know. We're screwed for like the next few years.
Yeah, they're not getting Carr. But I mean, it's a bad look. It just looks bad. There's people that don't like Carr. I've always been a fan of Carr. I thought he was always a good quarterback. I just think he's never had the proper tools or the defense.
We were talking about it in our little chat. You know, it's never been his fault. He's had multiple MVP seasons, derailed by injury because he's, running for his life all the time.
Especially that first one that they made it to the playoffs. I was a big fan.
First time he made it to the playoffs and he broke his leg in the second to last game.
In the second to last game, and then he was like gonna be the MVP or something like that year.
Yeah, that was a good year.
The Raiders, didn't know if the Raiders were good. That was when the Pats were like still at their dominant fashion, so it still would have been a little bit to overcome the Pats. But
I was anticipating them to go deep in the playoffs that year.
I felt like they had the chance to go deep in the playoffs, and then Derek Carr got hurt, and then I just felt like either whether it was him or the team was never the same when he came back. He was great that first year or two, and then he got hurt, and then just it was never the same.
I just think it's. I mean, how does a QB succeed when he's got a new coach every 2 or 3 years? He's got a new
offensive line.
He's got to learn a new.
You could be the best quarterback in the world, but if you can't, stay in the pocket for 3 goddamn seconds, then
right,
you ain't passing shit.
I'm not on the Jared. I mean, nothing against Jared Stidham at all. I mean, he played good, but I didn't see that he did anything different than what Carr could have done. I really don't. That defense is still atrocious. They screwed him over. I've never seen a player get screwed by an organization the way he did. I mean, we're gonna bench him.
It happen the other way. Andrew Luck.
Well, that's good. Yeah, well,
Andrew Luck kind of screwed.
He didn't want to walk around with, CTE brain and be rehabbing all the time.
No, but he could have said something before the draft.
I mean,
he waited 4 days after the draft and was like, "I'm retiring."
No, he waited until the preseason was hurt.
No, he was third preseason game.
Yeah, he got hurt in preseason, and it was the third preseason game that he did it. So they could have gotten something that draft. That's when they traded away their draft picks and got. We had the next year. They had what's his name from San Diego?
Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers, yeah.
That year he retired. We had Brissett.
I will go down saying that we should have built around Brissett. Yeah, Brissett wasn't flashy. Yeah, he couldn't really push the ball downfield, but you know what he could do? He didn't give it away.
Yeah,
He,
I
he did
agree.
not
If
give the ball away. What's been our problem ever since then? Giving the ball away.
if they could have stayed with Brissett a year or two. See, I think it's always a quick fix in the league now, and it doesn't work that way. It
Well,
really doesn't. And
The one thing about Colts fans is Colts fans are patient.
I mean, they're going to suck
I'm
for a
not.
while. This reminds me of the '80s, like Colts. This is like the shitty Colts that moved from Baltimore. this is exactly what this team reminds me of.
I'm the type. I guess I'm the type of Colts fan that I'm like, well, I had a good team for however
I
many
was gonna
years.
say you guys had Peyton
Okay,
for quite
Chris,
some
be
time.
careful what you wish for because the Raiders have
I know.
had 2 winning seasons since in 20 years.
I know you
So-
said that. You said that 30 years ago. You know what? I could take a few bad years. Here you are, like it's been a few bad years.
I mean, my entire life as a Cowboys fan has been a mediocre, like a team that can never
Yeah.
penetrate into the playoffs. And
Yeah,
so,
what's
I
up with
mean,
you?
I know, and I know what I mean, these last couple of weeks, but that's fine as long as they step it up in the. Hey, if the Cowboys win, if the Cowboys beat the Commanders and the Eagles lose their game, which they might sit. What's his face again? They might fit.
Jalen Hurts.
Sit
Oh,
Jalen
Jalen
Hurts
Hurts.
again, like and they're playing the Giants, which the Giants have been playing pretty good lately. And I think one other team, like the some team has to lose, and we'll be in first place, and we'll get the bye. Like okay,
So that means
That's-
it delays your disappointment a week.
yes, it does. It's like one of those. It's one of those things. Do I want us to play in the wild card game and like try to win and then go into the division game with like a little bit of a win streak, or do I want that extra game for my guys to rest?
Well, well, I mean, I agree with that because I mean, I would give the guys a week to
Sword.
rest because they're kind of banged up.
But then sometimes you give somebody a week to rest, and then you got the I don't know, the 2008 Giants coming in as the wild card team and fucking smoke everybody
Well,
because
that's
they're
true
on like
too.
a crazy winning streak.
And
So like,
like-
do you want your team to go in like hot, or do you want them to go in and like take like a little bit of a break at the first game and get their heads on straight? But then sometimes it's like when I'm golfing. I could take 50 practice swings that are perfect, and then I go to take the real swing, and I fucking go into the goddamn water.
that's why you don't practice swing. Just get up there and swing. Just get up
Close
there.
your eyes. Just close
And
your
then,
eyes.
and then
I
I
was-
get up there and swing, and then I throw my club into the water.
Well, the crazy thing was, so like the Raiders, they lost. They're like, if they win, they still have a shot in the playoffs. Do you really want this team to go to the playoffs and get embarrassed?
That's the
'Cause
same.
I
thing
sure
what they're
don't.
saying about the Pats. Like,
Why would
Pats
I want
beat
this
the
team? I
Bills.
want them to suck the rest of the year, then go draft somebody that you're going to cut in 2 years because that's what you've been doing for the past 10, and then go from there. But I don't want that team in the playoffs. They're atrocious. They're not going
Like
to get
if
hot.
Pats beat the Bills, they're in the playoffs. But are they really gonna get anywhere in the playoffs? Like, why even bother as a Patriots fan? I mean, again, you never know. I mean, your team could.
I mean,
turn it
I mean,
on.
Look at
I
the
mean,
Giants.
well,
Look
the
at
Cardinals
the Giants.
did it.
They
The
did
Giants
Cardinals,
barely
twice.
made it and won a Super Bowl.
the Cardinals
Giants
were
did
a
it
wild card
twice.
team and made it to the Super Bowl. The Raiders were wild. The Raiders were the first wild card team to make it to the Super Bowl.
The Giants were probably one of the worst teams
Giants
to
were the
make it to
first
the
wild card
playoffs.
team to win the Super Bowl
And the
twice.
they beat one of the probably the best football team of all time in that Patriots team.
Where's
that
the
went
where's
7
the where's the Washington game? Is it in Dallas or is it in Washington?
I don't think it really matters, but I'm pretty sure it's in.
Well, I mean,
Dallas.
and the thing with Washington is you don't know which team's going to show up. It could be the shitty one, or the really good team that shows up every once in a while and beats somebody that they shouldn't beat.
It is.
That's been their
in-
MO all year.
I think it depends on which quarterback shows up that game. The guy that's dripped out or the guy that's struggling to throw the ball 5 feet.
What's the 7th? Is that Saturday?
Yes. It
So
is.
the Chiefs play at 4:30, and the Titans and Jaguars play at 8.
Yeah, they got the Raiders.
Then all the rest of the games are on
Yeah. So I've got something going on Saturday, so I don't have to watch that game. I'm so aggravated as I've never been so aggravated as a fan before as I am right now with my team. Not just because it's shitty, it's just the whole scenario is
It's
just
both your teams, Colts and the.
just I mean, if you're gonna trade him, let him play out the year, pretend that he's your buddy like the mob would, and then just take him out. You know what I mean? That's what you do. You
Yeah,
don't save him from injury. I mean, come on, really?
we're just gonna go have a drink by the river. Don't worry about those cement blocks.
That's
We're
right.
just taking them with us.
I mean, just pretend it's not hard. Just trade him. I mean, they'll get something for him, I'm sure. But I hope he goes somewhere. I hope it's like the whole Matty Stafford thing. You know, he goes somewhere and wins.
I
He's
was
gonna go to the Panthers.
You know, Harbaugh. You know, speaking of the Panthers, I heard that they were going to talk to Jim Harbaugh about coaching.
that's the rumor for the Colts right now is they're going to offer Harbaugh and
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton like the keys.
They need
Like,
to give them the keys so they can
Yeah.
rebuild this team into something
Um,
good.
I like Saturday, but I don't think he's the one.
The only thing is, okay, so did you ever play like football, like when you were a kid? And there's always that one kid
Never.
that calls a penalty on every single play. Because if you don't remember that kid, then you were probably that kid.
basketball, yeah. I played
Okay, same
basketball.
kid. It's
I
the
was
same
gonna
kid.
say
It's the same kid. It's the same kid who calls a
Oh,
foul every play
penalties.
in basketball, or calls a penalty for holding or pass interference in a backyard football game. That is Jim Harbaugh. He wants a penalty called every single play. He always complains.
But when he gets a penalty, his team did nothing wrong.
That's what I'm saying. He's that kid. He's the kid in the backyard that always calls penalties or fouls in a basketball game.
I don't think we'll get either of them because Sean Payton doesn't want to come. I could see Sean Payton going to the Raiders because I think.
Why
Like
he's not going to the Raiders? They're going to keep Josh McDaniel.
Yeah.
That
They already said
Las
that.
Vegas is going to fire sale next year. Actually, I saw somebody tweeted pictures. There were 50% off jerseys in the shop of Derek Carr, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs. The jerseys were 50%
no.
off. So I'm thinking fire sale is going to happen in Las Vegas. They're going to be. I anticipate them going to be shitty for another 10 years at the minimum. So I don't think Sean
Yeah.
Payton's going to there. Why wouldn't he? He coached at Indiana State, right? He was
Who?
like Sean Payton. He was like a quarterback coach
Yeah,
or
but he
something.
ain't coming.
Indiana State.
He ain't going to a team unless it's fully built already
No,
and just needs
I
to
don't.
coach.
I don't believe that. I think
I do. I believe that he left the freaking Saints because he didn't want to have to worry about getting a new quarterback.
Well, if you had to coach Jameis Winston, you'd probably want to go find someplace else to go too. But
If I had, it's more like you have to babysit Jameis Winston because
But you can't. He can't get you crab
there-
legs fairly
there's some
cheap.
crab legs over there. He's banned
gets
from
you some
any
crab legs
gosh.
all
fairly
crab
cheap.
leg locations.
Who they got now? Who is their quarterback? New Orleans.
I don't know.
Winston's hurt, ain't he? He ain't even playing, is he?
I thought he was back in.
Yeah, I think he played last game. It was
Did he
him
play
and
last
Hill.
game?
Hill did a little bit of playing too.
Yeah, 'cause it's Andy Dalton. Got
Oh, Andy
Winston
Dalton.
came
I saw
back
Andy
and-
Dalton play. Yeah, that's
Oh
right.
yes, it was Dalton and
the Red
Hill.
Rifle.
That's right.
Tim's favorite ginger.
What a crazy weekend. So, I don't care about I mean, I do care about the playoffs. I'm excited for the playoffs. I like playoffs. So,
Yeah.
but you know what? Honestly, you can't beat college football playoffs because those games were outrageous this past weekend.
Dude. Not even just the playoff games, like the New Year's games. The Notre Dame game was great. Everything was all the games.
Yeah,
this
all the
weekend
bowl
were
games were pretty much other than Purdue.
Purdue was in a bowl game.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were in the Citrus Bowl.
I
they got
really
beat
don't
like
care.
I think they got beat like 63-7 or something like that. Like,
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Good. I don't like Purdue, so good.
Yeah, they got smoked.
um, Yeah, I mean Oh no, that was that. Which game were they in? They weren't in the Citrus Bowl. Kentucky and Iowa was in the Citrus Bowl. They were mad because they were mad because they didn't get a B in the no they thought they were going to the Citrus Bowl because if you finish second in the championship or in the Big Ten, whoever finishes second in the Big Ten goes to the Citrus Bowl. And they were mad that they didn't get invited to the Citrus Bowl. Oh, they played LSU. Oh no, there it is. How to watch Purdue LSU? They did get invited to the Citrus Bowl. Yeah, 63-7. They got blown out. 594 yards of offense.
Oh my God.
LSU had almost 600 yards offense and beat Purdue 63-7.
Golly.
Purdue was mad because they didn't get invited to the Rose Bowl. That's what it was. Because they finished second, but Ohio State was a championship contender. So
Yeah.
the best team's supposed to go to the Rose Bowl, and Penn State went instead.
Because Penn State's the shit.
They won too, I think, didn't they? It wouldn't have mattered. Penn State, who'd they beat? They played Utah, I think. Who did it? Yeah, but they beat Utah. So 35-21. That wasn't much of a game. But the Ohio State game, choked in the open net, boy. He Ray Finkeled that one big time.
He is not welcome back on campus.
Finkel and Einhorn. Finkel and
I think that
like he didn't like
that kicker's I think he has they're searching for him. I don't think he's been seen.
Like he gives a whole new definition to wide left. I mean,
it's not even the double doink.
No, I mean it wasn't even close. That was a good game. I watched both of those games too.
That was a good game too. I didn't think Georgia was going to come back. I legit stopped watching the game because I was like, "Well, Georgia's not coming back."
So it's who? It's Georgia and
TCU.
Yeah, Texas Christian. That's right. Yeah,
I can't.
I'll go for TCU.
I'm going for the underdog.
They were unranked at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
TCU was, and obviously they deserve to be there. You know.
Yeah.
They can hold their own against Ohio State. Did they beat Ohio State, right? Yeah. No. Who'd they beat? Who did TCU beat? Did they beat Ohio State? No, they didn't beat Ohio State, did they?
I don't know.
We were all over
No,
this.
they beat who was it? Georgia? No.
They beat. No, they played Georgia.
Oh, they played Georgia.
They played Georgia.
TCU, Iowa State, Georgia, and Michigan? No.
Yes.
Michigan.
Yeah, Georgia beat Ohio State, right? Yeah, TCU beat Michigan. That's right.
I don't know. I don't pay attention much to college. That's just
Georgia's 12.5-point favorite, so there's your odds. Over under 62.5.
I enjoyed college a little bit more than pros anymore.
I'd probably bet on the dog there. That 12's a lot.
12.5, yeah.
pretty decent.
That is a lot. 62.5 is the total.
I think TCU come out there. I don't know college, but I think TCU. I think they might surprise some people there.
I hope so. And that worst I hate to blowout national championship game. It's like the blowout Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's just boring.
They're just not. I would say they're just not fun to watch. I mean, if it's your team, I mean, I would just love to see my team there. So I'll take what I can get.
Like when I was a kid, every Super Bowl was a blowout. The only one that was except Super Bowl 16 and 19 maybe. 16 was close. It was the San Francisco. It was San Francisco and Cincinnati Super Bowls. So 86 would have been Super Bowl 23, and then Super Bowl 25 was close. But most of them were blowouts when I was a kid.
You know you're old when you start when you start counting Super Bowls from the 20s.
Super Bowl, shoot, I remember Super Bowl 10. What are you talking about?
He's probably old enough to remember Super Bowl one. Let's be honest.
My dad's seen every Super Bowl, but I remember Super Bowl. The first one I do remember is like Super Bowl 10, I think. We were in Shelbyville. And we watched the game there, and then Super Bowl 11, the Raiders won. That's when I became a Raider fan. And then I think 12 was the Cowboys and the Broncos, I believe. So I remember all those. I remember Marino. I remember too. Oh, Marino's going to many Super Bowls. This isn't going to be his only one.
Yeah.
And it was his only one. So. Yeah, I remember all those Super Bowls. Unfortunately, I'm old.
So just a quick little sidebar before I forget, because I wanted to ask last time we did one. Mikey, what is your $2 stack up to? Because I went through my screenshots and I saw, I think it was 132.
I think I only have like around. I think I used a couple not too long ago. Probably a couple years ago I used it. I haven't counted it in a while.
Since he doesn't work at the liquor store anymore, he doesn't get them left and right.
Okay, yeah. I was just curious. Was just looking for a picture the other day and I scrolled across it and I was like, oh shit, I wonder what his number is up to now.
I thought like I used to keep track on my phone, but like when I changed phones, it kind of like erased everything. Like I used to keep track of like all my coins too, like my $1 coins, my Buffalo nickels, my Eisenhower dollars. I think like if I remember, I know I had at least 100. I'll probably have a little bit more than that, hopefully, if I remember.
Oh, so anytime you got any of those coins, you would trade them out and.
Yeah, every time I saw them, yeah.
I remember Mary Jane. Whenever there was a $2 bill, she would take it out and and save it for you.
Yeah.
I remember Mary Jane too.
You're probably hanging out with Mary Jane right now, aren't you?
Some $2 bills.
I am.
I got some Buffalo nickels. I got an Indian head penny from 1889. I know that much.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Somebody's knocking at the door. I wonder who it is.
Dope man. I got this gold chain, man.
Has anybody? I'm assuming everybody here has watched that '70s show.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, I can't with this guy. I just cannot sometimes.
How have you not seen that 70s?
Well,
I've tried watching episodes, and
the two cool people in here. Do you guys remember the Reefer Madness episode when they do the little black and white cartoon? It's like they like remade an old commercial like back in the day, like that was called Reefer Madness.
No, that was a movie.
Or a movie. I'm sorry, it was a movie. I remember that it was like a spoof on something.
So they spoofed Reefer Madness.
It's like if you watch them like back to back, it's like perfect. Like they perfectly.
Have you seen Reefer Madness?
I've watched that scene before.
Have you seen the movie?
But I've never. No, I haven't.
Oh my god, they did it. They did a riff tracks. That's how I saw it. They riff tracked it live. Riff tracks live. And so what it is like it's the effects of people using marijuana, and like this one guy, he was just like he would smoke pot and he would like laugh hysterically, like psychotically, like it was supposed to make them all hyper. It's supposed to make them all hyper and crazy. That's the whole premise of the movie. Pot was going to make everybody hyper and crazy, and they were going to do stupid things. That's the premise of the movie.
It was a 1936 film. I didn't even know they made things. There's a musical they made in 2005.
Yeah, they made a musical of the movie. Yeah, I knew that. But the movie is horrible.
Well, I would assume that anything made in the 30s is probably not that good.
It's completely opposite of what anything thinks that, if you've been around anybody who's smoked pot, it's completely opposite of how people that are high act. It's crazy, but that's what they sold. That's how they got it. to be illegal.
It's just this picture of fucking Kelso.
Yeah, I looked it up, and he's. They're supposed to have that '90s show. It's supposed to be like a type of reunion.
No, it's a new show,
Almost.
right?
Yeah, but it's still gonna have
Okay.
Red
That's the guy.
Foreman and
That's
Kitty. And
the
it's
Kelso. That's the guy that laughs hysterically and
Yeah, I was-
psychotically when he's high.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
That's
Kelso.
what I was gonna say. That's who he is. He does a crazy laugh when he's sitting on the couch. Definitely worth watching like that little 2-minute skit from that '70s show. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I'll have to check
Oh,
that
it's supposed
out.
to be on Netflix. Cool.
Yeah, it is going to be on Netflix. Speaking of which, there's going to be. I think there's a season 2 of my Zac Efron special, Down to Earth.
Making another one of those?
Oh, yeah, it's been out for a while.
Has it been out for a while? I just
Oh,
saw
yeah.
the tweet about it. So
I've seen a few episodes. It's not as good as. For some reason, it's not. Doesn't seem as good as the first.
it's not as good as the first one.
Yeah. It's like it doesn't like pique my interest like the first one for some reason.
Really? I was going to have to check it out and
I
see
tried.
it. Obviously.
Doesn't mean it's bad, just probably not as good.
Because it's only set in Australia.
Oh, he doesn't go all over the world.
Yeah, because they shot that during the COVID or something, and
Oh,
then, like Australia was
okay.
like the only place that was kind of like open, and they could film, and they still had to get vaccines and tests and stuff, but it was still like it was as open as you could get and film and stuff, because they're kind of isolated out there a little bit. I assume, but
Please tell me this works. Hang on. Please.
All right, Chris.
What?
You know what I'm gonna ask? Chris with a C.
What?
What?
You know what I'm gonna ask?
What?
Did you watch it yet? Now that they're all out?
Watch what?
You know what I'm asking. I'm gonna take a switchblade. I'm gonna stab you in the kidney.
this is the Star Trek show.
I love
Yes.
it when he threatens violence on us.
Prodigy?
Yes. Have you watched Prodigy? The whole season's out now.
You guess my answer, and I'll say
Yeah.
yes or no.
Yeah, I know. You didn't watch it.
You are correct.
Of course, I'm correct. Even Brad watched it.
Brad, who?
Brad, not white Brad.
Yellow Brad.
I didn't know there was a yellow Brad.
I didn't. I'm not giving you a color. I'm just saying it's not white Brad.
If he's, if
It's-
you don't mind.
It's the darker Brad.
Oh,
Yeah,
the Brad with
he watched it.
anger issues.
Yeah, I mean they both have anger issues.
No, I have not.
You
And
gotta watch it.
why?
Just watch like one episode a day. They're 20-minute episodes.
20-minute episode.
You know what else is 20-minute episodes?
That's
They're
an
20
that's-
minutes.
You can watch
So is
3 in an
Boruto.
hour. How many episodes are there?
20.
There's 20 episodes. So that's like what, 6.5 hours, right? 3 and a half.
I mean, it's not.
3 an
You
hour.
don't have to. You don't have to binge them.
You can watch 3 an hour at least, Chris. You could binge it in like you could get that done in like 2 or 3
I've
days.
been watching Boruto.
Fuck Boruto.
Wow.
Watch
Boruto's
it.
gonna come out with a new episode every single week.
Yeah, and I gotta catch up.
You can catch up later. Just watch the 20 episodes. You don't even have to watch all 20. I'm pretty sure you've already watched a few of them.
I've watched 2 or 3.
It's atrocious. It's been out for a full year.
Oh
I
man,
didn't
a
like
full
it.
year.
I don't know what
oh
else
my.
to say.
Oh,
You don't
man.
have to like it. You just
There's-
fucking watch it. It's goddamn Star Trek, and it's pretty good.
There's dissension in Starfleet, Mikey.
Well, it's probably because I got
I'm about to
butt
turn into a
worms.
monkey real quick.
You know what, Tim?
Oh,
I'll come out and say it. I got butt worms.
oh shit.
I'm
All
here
right.
to infiltrate Starfleet and take over.
Oh, okay, I thought you were being serious.
I was like,
Oh,
what? I know.
Yeah,
No,
the
it's
parasites.
there's
I know,
there's
right?
Damn.
there's like a few there's like a arc in Next Generation where
Yeah, have fun thinking
worms
you know
take
about
over
that one.
Starfleet.
Like Wrath of Khan when they put them things in their ears.
Yeah, but this time it like technically it goes into their throat. But I think the joke in Lower Decks was butt worms.
Yikes.
But no, I watched. Me and Kimberly just finished The Good Place. Great show. I
What's
highly
the good
suggest it.
place?
It's where they're dead and they're in heaven.
I've read like the premise and some of the stuff on that. It's pretty
I haven't seen
good.
that one. What's it on
It's
Netflix?
really it's on Netflix. It's
Ah,
like 30-minute episodes, probably about 15 episodes a season, 4 seasons long.
that's an awful lot.
It has who's the girl? I forget. Is it one of the Dashnell girls?
She plays Anna in Frozen. Kristen
Curious?
Bell.
Oh,
Kristen
Kristen Bell. Oh, that one. Okay. Is that the one with Christina
And it
Applegate?
has-
No.
no. Who's
That's
the
what I
guy?
thought it was.
Is it? It's the guy's the dude from CSI, right?
Yeah, Ted
No.
Danson.
Ted Danson. Yeah.
Ted Danson. He's from Cheers.
Well,
Uh-huh.
he's also from.
Was he in CSI?
He's the main guy in one of the CSIs.
Hang on. I'm looking.
Hold on,
up.
let me look this up. I'm actually
Maybe
kind
in
of curious.
maybe in Vegas after the other guy went crazy
Oh,
for like a few seasons.
Yeah, Ted
CSI
Danson.
Cyber. And he was in CSI. Yeah.
He was
From
in Curb Your
2011.
Enthusiasm. What's he
Yes, he
known
was in a
for?
CSI. He was in the original CSI in
That's
Las
what I was
Vegas.
gonna
Yeah.
say. Yeah, I knew he was in one of them. I remember seeing him because I remember thinking like, "Who's this guy?"
He's just the guy from Cheers.
Oh. If he was in the
Come
original
on,
CSI, it must have been after I quit
no,
watching.
wait, that's not it.
It's not, he was in Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
No, but he's like one of the main guys in The Good Place.
Monday, Tuesday, happy day. Nope, that's not it. I can't get to the song. I'm going around all the wrong ones.
Everybody knows your name.
There you go.
Oh my
And
god.
you always
The
let
show
me
that
change.
spawned Frasier.
Yes, that is the show that spawned Frasier.
I like Frasier.
I like Frasier.
He was also in a
Alright.
Star Trek episode.
Have
do
y'all
have a
watched
quick-
Matilda musical yet? Yeah, I know y'all.
No,
know.
but
No.
that'll lead perfectly into
You know
my.
what? That movie makes me realize how much of a lazy piece of shit I am, because those kids are freaking spectacular in that movie. The singing, the dancing, the acting, the whole 9 yards.
I know I'm a lazy piece of shit. I don't need a movie
Why
to
don't you
tell me
get
that.
good?
I mean, it is so good. Like I like musicals, but damn, that movie's freaking awesome. Watch it. I recommend it. My Knotbuster, I stumbled upon a Knotbuster thinking it wasn't going to be a Knotbuster.
I tripped before and I almost had a knot buster. But
Yeah.
I watched Amsterdam, right, which is a new movie. Amsterdam, it's on HBO.
Uh-huh.
What a piece of shit. Oh my god. I didn't expect it. Like I thought, okay, it had an $80 million budget, right? It grossed in the US it grossed $14.9 million. 31 million worldwide. You would think, listen to this. You would think this should be a good movie. Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Anya Taylor-Joy, she was that chick in The Witch, Chris Rock, Michael Shannon, Michael Myers, Timothy Oliphant, Rami Malek, Robert De Niro, and Taylor Swift, which she gets killed early. She gets killed early in the movie, so that's not a horrible thing for the movie.
Whoa.
Anyway. But it's all over the place. It is a big mess. It reminded me of that Karate Christmas movie.
That's like an A-list movie.
It is. They laid a giant turd here. I am not kidding.
I almost
Was it
watched
the
it.
writing or
It's just, the story's just kind of all over the place. It's about this guy, and he comes back from England, and he comes back on the boat from England, and he's dead. So they want this doctor, Christian Bale, to do an autopsy, and he's only got 2 hours to do it. And the guy's daughter, played by Taylor Swift, thinks that he's been murdered. So him and John David Washington are going to do this autopsy and see if there's murdered. So while they're getting ready to go do the autopsy, somebody pushes Taylor Swift out in front of a car and she gets ran over and killed.
not T Swift?
Yeah. So T Swizzle's under the car, literally.
No, T Swizzle.
She's under the car. And then after that, it just loses control because they're supposed to be accused of murdering the woman, but the cops never really come after them. They're never investigated. And it just turns into a big giant mess. And it's a horrible, shitty ass movie. And that's my not buster for the week. I can see while it turned into a giant turd at the box office.
I feel like that happens sometimes with those. I don't know if it's whether like they know the script is shitty, so they try to overload it with good names, hoping that
Yeah.
it will balance out, and it doesn't. Or
I think Babylon's on the same way. Yeah, and it's supposed to be like a comedy. I laughed once the whole movie.
yeah, at
like-
the movie. Like, I was
Is
laughing
it?
at
I
your movie?
think
not
Babylon
with
is
your
the
movie.
same way. I think Babylon's fallen into the same thing. The Brad Pitt movie.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Never seen it.
Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. Boy, she is just batting 100 this year. You know what I mean?
Does anybody have Prime here? Like, anybody like watch anything with like Prime? I use it to watch
Yeah,
Eureka.
I've been watching the new Jack Ryan season.
I need
Use
to
that
know
to
that.
watch.
Oh.
Dude.
Here you go.
There's
Hey,
a
hang on, Tim. For the record, Babylon was budgeted at $78 million and it's made 10.7 at the box office.
That's
Okay, go ahead with Prime.
That's a lot of damage.
there's this show on Prime that I want to watch when I'm done with Eureka. It's called The Peripheral, and it looks pretty cool. It's I mean, I can read the little thing here. The Peripheral centers on Flynn Fisher, a woman trying to hold together the pieces of her broken family in a forgotten corner of tomorrow's America. Flynn is smart, ambitious, and doomed. She has no future until the future comes calling for her. The Peripheral is a master storyteller, William Gibson, dazzling, hallucinatory glimpse into the fate of mankind and what lies beyond. So essentially, I've watched like the little trailer a few times, and she puts on this like weird helmet thing that lets her take control of a like robot body in the future in the year 2100 or something. So it's like 2100 London and 2020 America, or like whatever town they're in, are the two separate time periods. And like there's something going on in the future is gonna doom the past. I don't really know the exact details because I haven't watched it. It looks pretty cool.
I did hear a rumor about, speaking of Amazon Prime, the company that made Wednesday got bought out by Amazon or something.
That's
So
why everybody's all up in arms, and they're afraid that
Wednesday's going to go to Prime.
Prime. And I was like, seriously, if you don't have Prime, you're.
I don't have Prime because I don't buy that much shit from.
I
have Prime for a lot of gaming stuff because they have a lot of gaming.
What's that show called, Mike? Tim?
The Peripheral, like Peripheral.
Oh, it's got Chloe Grace Moretz in it.
She
Prime
kind of
is the only thing I don't share.
in the pictures for the show. I thought it was the girl that plays Daenerys. Like in certain images, she kind of looks like Daenerys. Like
No, she plays Hit
whatever
Girl,
her name is.
and she plays Hit Girl in Kick-Ass.
Yeah,
They do kind of look alike at the right angles.
it's just like a couple because I like her actual like profile picture looks nothing like it, but from this show, like the main picture of the show kind of looks like
I can see that.
Like if it's the same picture I'm looking at, it's just her face and it's
with
like
her
kind
face
of
without
cut
the
up.
eyes.
It's like cut up.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. I can see that could be Daenerys. No, it's Chloe Grace Moretz.
But yeah, it looks pretty. I mean, if you get a chance, watch the like 2 minute trailer or whatever. It's definitely interesting. It piques my. I like shows like this that have like a bit of mystery to it that you don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime. It started in October.
Yeah, it's on Prime. They already finished a season, I think.
Yeah,
8 episodes. Yeah.
I don't even know what to watch anymore. There's just so much of nothing. I did watch the Knives Out movie. I thought that was kind of good.
On
Glass Onion?
Netflix, I highly suggest Bullet Train.
I watched that. That was good.
It was
It
Brad
was,
Pitt. It was
yeah.
it was hilarious with good action.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I liked it.
I'll have to check it.
I don't know. It's
out.
been a while since I watched it, but I did really like it.
I was going to, and then I decided not to, so I haven't watched it yet.
It's one of those movies where all the storylines are kind of different at the very beginning, but as the movie goes on, they kind of interweave and they all make sense.
As long as it's not
Uh-huh.
fucking Sin City, you're good.
Sin City was so overrated.
I liked the first one.
Sin City was just I don't know which Sin City it was, but one of them was a mess with like all the different. There was like 7 different stories going on at one time.
That's what Pulp Fiction was.
And
That's
it
what
was,
Game of Thrones was. Let's be honest. We all love
yeah,
Game
but
of
at
Thrones.
least like the scenes were like longer. Like it would be like 3 minutes of this fight, and then 3 minutes of this fight, and then it'd be like 3 minutes of this fight, and 3 minutes of these people talking. It was very confusing.
What I started was 1923.
Yeah, I saw the first episode.
I liked that.
Is that show with Harrison
Harrison
Ford?
Ford, yeah. It's another prequel to Yellowstone.
To Yellowstone, yeah.
How can you have so many prequels to one show?
Different
Okay.
family members.
Yeah, different generations. Why not?
Yeah.
They tell
What's
how
the
they got
story
to.
even about? Is someone else come? Are there some other people randomly coming?
No, it's the family. It's
the Dutton family.
It's the Duttons. It shows how they settled in Montana, and then it builds from there.
Yeah.
Did you watch? Oh, you didn't watch Yellowstone because you can't. I'm the only one that's watching Yellowstone.
I haven't watched the new season because I don't have Paramount. But once it
Mikey.
becomes,
I'm gonna send you my Paramount account because why not?
I have Paramount Plus. Yes, but
Chris
it's not on
is
Paramount
fucking
Plus.
using it.
You have
The new,
Paramount.
the new
Yeah, he's
season's
got
not on-
Paramount Plus. I thought it was on.
Oh yeah, it's not on. You have to have like stars, I think.
Oh, you have to have the stars add
You
on.
have to have the stars package. Because I remember looking at the
Yeah.
same thing and being like, why can't I even like view this on the
Ain't
app?
nobody ever have stars. Like there's like
Yeah.
probably like 5 people with stars, and let's be honest, they all have it for one reason. Stars after midnight.
Dude, you can watch it on. You can watch it on Xfinity.
Peacock.
Oh, like
Yeah,
on demand.
on demand.
I don't know. I might.
Yeah, you can. I've got it now. Yeah, you can watch it on demand.
But I don't even have the Paramount channel.
You don't have the Paramount channel?
No, that's what I'm saying. How can I watch it on demand if I don't even have the Paramount channel?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Seems like a personal problem.
I've got. That's a good question. I don't know. I've got Paramount, so.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have it. Like it's not what I just got. Like it's just part of my package. I think.
I can't wait for cable companies to actually do a la carte because it makes sense.
Yeah, I was looking for that. Maybe like it came with like a smaller package, but no, they have to buy the like advanced like to.
Yeah, because honestly, I really don't need the Sportsman channel,
Yeah.
Universo, Zona Football,
Right.
the tennis channel, the golf channel. I don't need any of that stuff.
Right.
I take the golf channel.
Yeah, I'll take the golf channel.
No, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna watch it. I'll have like the NHL channel and the NBA.
I watch golf every
Major
once in a
League.
while.
Well, the Golf Channel. The sad thing is, during the Masters, the Golf Channel actually doesn't have the Masters.
Yeah, because it's on like TNT or something.
Yeah,
I mean, I can
but you
pick a
can
lot
get
of
all
these
the other
channels.
like stuff on it.
You know, as soon as I do that and I pick a channel, like then the channel I don't pick, is gonna start having like really cool stuff on it that I want to watch.
And then you just pay $2 and get that channel.
Right. Because there's like, there's certain channels that you don't watch, but every once in a while you watch.
Like the
Yeah.
golf.
No, I don't watch the Golf Channel. I will
Low
never
key,
watch.
I do miss playing, or I do miss TV just for channel surfing. But that's really it. Like we were watching TV at her parents' house over the holidays, and I was like, I really don't miss the commercials.
They need to like institute like a random button for like a lot of these like streaming services, so that like on Netflix or something, whether it be like random within a show or just random through like your list of shows or something like that, just to like click. Because sometimes
Netflix has the random
sometimes I
thing.
spend longer looking
Yeah,
for
they do.
like an episode to watch than actually watching said episode.
Netflix has the random button.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Netflix had one.
Yeah, but see, I like recording stuff. See, tonight at midnight, because it started now, is Fast and Furious, the unknown story on Reels. See, which I did watch the first two Fast and Furious
Too
on
fast,
Friday.
furious.
The first two, those first two are good. I enjoyed them. Back when they were just stealing DVD players and not going to space in a freaking Fiero.
The one in Brazil is the best one. Let's be honest.
No, the first one is the best one.
No, the one in
Yeah,
Brazil
no,
is
the
the best
first
one.
one is
First
the
one's
best.
pretty good.
The first one
Brazil-
is the best
Brazil
one.
one's good too. I like the Brazil one.
I enjoy the
I
Brazil one.
love the first one though.
I think the first one's the best one.
And I will go down. I'll go down saying that Hobbs and Shaw, the one with The Rock and Jason Statham, I really do think that movie is underrated.
Is that the one where he's holding the helicopter?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not underrated. It's a piece of shit. That's impossible. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't
They're
even do
all
that, and he could do everything in the 80s, but he never brought down a helicopter with his arm.
They never asked him to. How do you know he couldn't? They never asked him.
Touche.
Because it's unrealistic. That's why.
You're unrealistic.
Good comeback, I guess.
That's a good one. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, I do my best. I do my best.
Yeah,
They
try
don't.
harder.
Why would I try harder when I already got the best comebacks?
And did you have you guys seen the new have you seen the new Avatar movie? Chris is the
Yeah.
only one that's seen it.
No,
I haven't seen it.
I'm
I've
not
heard
willing to
mixed. I've
spend
heard
3
like
hours
it's so
yeah.
good, and I've heard that it's a piece of trash.
I
So
think
I have nowhere to gauge.
I think the last time we watched it, or the last episode, I think I gave it like a 7.5 or 7. I didn't say it was great, but I really enjoyed the movie.
The Way of Water. 3 hours and 12 minutes. That's a long ass time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait.
I'm not. That's like that Dune movie we watched, Mikey. Remember we weren't gonna. How long was that piece of shit?
Hey, now that Dune movie was awesome.
God Almighty! I don't know how we stayed awake.
No, like what makes me dislike it is like I think it was good cinematically, but I thought that was going to be the whole movie. No, I didn't think they were going to make like 5 parts of it like they're playing. It's like I was like, what the?
It's for all the books.
It's gonna be 40 hours of movies by the time.
Yeah.
And that's only halfway through.
If
The
they
Dune
made
was
the
only
Titanic,
235.
that's like if they made the Titanic nowadays, they'd have like 2 or 3 different movies just to show the Titanic scene.
They did. They did a. Ben Stiller pitched a sequel to Titanic at the MTV Movie Awards, and it was about people that lived in this air bubble underneath the ocean, and they called the city Titani because that's all they could see of the word Titanic. Because
Sounds
sea-
sounds like
the
the
sea
lost
was
city of
the sea
Atlanta to
the
me.
sea was
right?
buried in the sand, and they couldn't see the sea, so they only
This-
saw Tatani. So they called their city Tatani, and they lived in this magic air bubble under
How'd
the
they keep
ocean
getting air. That air
as a
bubbles run out.
sequel. It's a sequel to Titanic.
After he watched the episode of Futurama, he came up with this.
I
This-
just, I,
Did
Dude,
the
that was so many
Coca-Cola-
years ago. Like that was right after Titanic came out. That's back when people actually watched MTV.
I just remember owning Titanic on VHS and there being 2 VHS.
2 VHS tapes. That's
Yeah.
right.
That ain't nothing.
Godfather was the same way.
Ben-Hur was 3 VHSs.
Was Ben-Hur
Ben-Hur.
3? That's a good
Oh
movie.
my god.
Remember, you would go to rent it, and they would have like the rubber band around the plastic thing.
Yeah.
Had 2 tapes.
Dinotopia was pretty
Now-
long too.
Now remember, rewind your movies or you'll
Be
get fined.
kind. Be kind. Rewind.
Yeah.
Some of them would fine you if you didn't rewind the movie.
Yeah.
And they would kill you. You mean fine.
You got a
Yeah.
bomb in the mail.
Meanwhile,
Um,
they have one. They were cool because they had those videotape rewinder machines. You know,
Yo, I loved ours.
those things were so awesome, and it would just
It
pop
felt
the
like it
tape
was
out
gonna
when it was done.
explode.
Yeah,
got going so
especially-
fast.
Get like-
especially
and
at
get
the
like
end.
hot.
Did I tell you the time? So like the library, you and I think you still can. You can still get movies at the library, right?
Yeah, you can still rent movies at the
Oh, I remember doing that.
They
We
still
got
have
movies.
libraries.
We got movie at the library, and they didn't break the tab on the videotape,
Oh no.
and I taped a David Letterman episode, and we were like, we didn't know, so we're like, where's the tape? Because I put in the other, I thought I put the other tape in, right, and it wasn't on the other tape, and I'm like, I know I recorded it, and I saw it was on that. It was on the library videotape because so I broke the tab out, and I just returned it. Like I didn't tell anybody.
What
I
is
Somebody went to
videotaped
watch that
over some
movie and was like,
Indiana
"What the hell?"
documentary on the David Letterman episode.
Oh my god.
And they probably never knew the difference.
I like. I hope
Yeah.
it started. I hope it started like normally too, and like your recording didn't like kick in until like
I
3 or
think
4
it
minutes
did. I
in.
think that's exactly what happened because it
So
wasn't.
like
It was
they
like
started to get comfortable like watching their little movie, and then it just
well,
switches.
it was a documentary, like an Indiana documentary, and we used to rent them because they had Indy 500 highlights from like the 60s, and that's how you could only see that shit because we didn't have YouTube or anything like that. So we would rent these so we could see old Indy 500 highlights, and that's one of the tapes I recorded over was one of the Indy 500 highlights. I don't think we ever borrowed from the library ever again after that, honestly.
And come to find out, you go there like randomly in like 5 years. Chris Brand.
Hey,
oh, that's a
that
$5 million
guy.
fine.
Your late fee is.
No, we returned the movies. We just never went back after we returned it because I didn't tell. I think my brother knew. I think he was the only one. I didn't tell anybody else. I didn't tell my parents.
What a bunch of criminals.
Yeah. You're going to hell.
You're going to the bad place.
Yeah. 18 double hockey sticks.
Yeah, I get up to heaven and they're like, well, you're banished to hell. Why? The library videotape.
They give you the exact day
No.
and time or something. It's like, ah, shit. You got me.
You're stuck in purgatory watching that David Letterman episode
over and over and over and over.
No, every time they restart the video, and at the beginning of the video, it says, "Welcome to Indy 500," and all of a sudden it's Letterman.
It's Letterman, yeah.
Remember this, Chris. No. Stop.
Apologize to the Kokomo Public Library and tell them I recorded a David Letterman episode over there. Document.
20.
Write them a letter.
I'd say
a letter.
25 years ago,
But I
but
was
Yeah, write them a letter.
longer than that. It was probably like 35 years ago.
I was trying
How
to give
old
you the
were you?
benefit
Were
of
you
the
like
doubt.
living with your parents, or were you
Yeah, I
like?
was a teenager. Yeah, I was still living. Yeah, I was probably
Back
15.
when dinosaurs roamed the earth and
had to
Chris
fin-
went
had to
to the
finish.
library.
We didn't get our first VCR till like around Christmas of '85, so December of '85. So I was 13.
Heck, how much
So-
did that VCR cost you? Like $200 at the time?
$310 was the cost of a VHS.
Holy shit!
That was
remember
on
when-
sale.
I remember when
God
DVD
damn.
players cost like $500.
Yeah. Oh, VHS was the same way. Yeah, it cost us $300. It was a top load.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, which were actually they were better than the ones that you stick in because the carriage didn't get bent up.
I
I love getting top loaded.
my parents, they could actually sell it for like $1,500. They don't
Yeah.
make them anymore. It's a VHS to DVD recorder. So you put a
I've got-
VHS in and it records it on a DVD.
I've got 2 of those.
You can sell those for good money.
Really? I need to
Yeah.
put some more on VHS on the.
If you want to be a good person, the museum is looking for a good donation.
Yeah, no, I do.
Um,
I need them.
I'll donate them for $300.
$300. Hold on. Yeah,
But
I've got,
just remember-
I've got a VHS to DVD transfer.
just
got
remember,
two.
everybody, if you do have a VHS tape, those things have a shelf life of about 20, 25 years. VHS, the magnetic strips in the VHS players or VHS tapes.
Really?
So you better get them transferred. Or
I'll
Yeah.
have to get to looking. I bet you they just say that. I don't believe it. I bet you.
No, it does. It's like a.
I bet you I
that's-
could pull out a tape from 1986.
That's like an actual like.
Is
It's like
that
an
straight
actual like
from the
museum
man?
thing.
I need to go get my shit. That's it. I need to go get my shit, and I need to see if this is true or not.
Do it.
Because I bet you they work.
I bet you they don't. It is like a museum thing. If we get a VHS, we don't keep it. We toss it as soon as we get it over to DVD.
Well, yeah. I mean, as soon as you transfer it to DVD, I'll toss it. I agree with that. That just makes sense. But
How long have we been recording?
just a little over an hour.
Okay, well, I guess we're not going to get to our topic.
No, we're not. We'll have to put the topic off next week. So we'll have to argue over whether Disney movies are really musicals or not.
Oh, I
Tim.
forgot. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm still on the fence. I mean,
I am too, honestly.
I'm
I
like-
want to count Moana.
They're
and stuff, but
freaking
the-
animals. Singing animals do
there.
not count as a musical.
I mean, in a musical,
Cats.
aren't they? What if they're dressed up as animals
Yeah.
in the musical?
What about cats and the musical Cats?
That is okay. Those are cats. Those aren't cartoon animals.
I mean,
They
yeah,
do
I
Lion
mean,
King the musical.
Exactly. They do
No.
Disney
Okay,
on
so
Ice.
that's
Disney
not.
on Ice.
I am
Disney
going
on
to
Ice is
Disney
not
on
a
Ice this
movie.
month.
Neither is Lion King the musical. Those aren't movies. Those are
What about
live stage plays.
Fantasia?
This guy he loves
Fantasia's not a
splitting
musical.
hair.
That's just plain while Mickey Mouse is there. You know.
What about
ducking
Spaceballs,
hippopotamus
the
and-
musical?
Baseballs the musical.
No, it's got to have musical. Like Matilda the musical. Don't get it confused with Matilda with Mara Wilson and Danny DeVito. Grease is a musical. The Blues Brothers is a musical. Now, I was on the fence about Pitch Perfect, but Pitch Perfect's not a musical. They just sing in the movie.
I mean,
Yeah, I agree with that.
What about these biopics coming out? Like,
Nope, those don't count either. Like Les Miserables, that's a musical. Master of the House, you know. Da, 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 da. I dream
love
a
that.
dream of. Da, da.
what about
What about The Greatest Showman?
That's a
Yeah.
musical.
Newsies?
Anything
Yeah.
where they talk, when they sing their parts, then it's pretty much.
so you mean Disney
Or they
movies?
or they
What's
break
the
out
one
into
with
dance.
Maria?
Mamma Mia?
West Side
Mamma
Story.
Mia? Yeah, West Side Story is a musical.
Yeah.
My Life? Is that a musical?
What?
No.
Okay.
But if like Pitch Perfect isn't a musical, I don't see. I'm sorry, but a singing rooster in Robin Hood doesn't constitute being a musical just because a rooster sings. It just don't work for me. I'm sorry.
I don't think all Disney movies are musicals.
No, it's not all movie. It's not all Disney movies.
But like the main thing is the music.
Is it though?
What is Frozen without you want? Do you
Yeah.
want to build a
I
snowman?
mean, what about like all of? I mean, that's kind of the same for like all of them.
Really? You think?
Well, I think people remember. I think if you remember the music more than any other scene than
Like, what's Mulan
Okay, so
without
is
"I'll
is
make a
Top
man
Gun a
out of
musical
you"?
because I sing Danger Zone all the time?
The whole
No.
reason why the new
I'm
Mulan
just
movie
saying.
was shitty was because it didn't have any of the music. That's why
If
people
they
didn't
would have
like it.
named that new Mulan movie anything different, it probably would have been a
It
good
would have been
movie.
fun. The problem people didn't like it is because it didn't have any of the music.
And it was called
And-
Mulan.
Yeah, and it was called Mulan. So, I mean, people wanted the music part of the movie. It kind of almost makes it a musical, doesn't it?
Never.
What about
This-
the live action Lion King?
That wasn't even very good either.
Is actually
I just can't wait to be.
I like
king.
the live action Lion King and I like the live
Yeah.
action Aladdin.
Yeah, no. That's just rehashing
Okay.
movies because
Yeah.
they ran out of ideas. And
Let's
then they get new ideas and they bomb at the box office.
let's talk about this next week. 'Cause we
What
can't.
about Sausage Party? Is that a musical?
No, 'cause they don't sing.
Jesus.
I'll show
do
you
sing.
my
They sing in
sausage
Sausage Party, don't they?
Anyways, since I am not the leader this week, somebody's gotta bring us around to the end.
Wait,
No,
I
Mikey's
got.
got a shower thought. He's
Oh, yeah.
I
sitting on
do.
this for like
He
a
actually
month.
has a shower thought.
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote it down. So when I wrote this down, when I thought about this, we had a couple windy days. I mean, they were really strong wind. Remember that? It was like 40, 50
Yeah,
miles
I
per
remember
hour.
that. I do. Yes.
I was thinking, how does the wind come and go like that? Like, why is it strong one day and not the others? I'm not a meteorologist or anything, so I was thinking maybe the Earth is rotating faster, causing the wind
Were you
to be
high?
strong.
This is the shit that I be thinking of when I'm laying in
So
bed
it's
and I'm
like
stoned as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So does it pick up speed or is it did it go really fast and just starting to slow down and the wind is after the
Yes,
slows down?
something like
Is-
that. Yeah.
There's no explaining a pothead thought. Just like doesn't ever work.
It's blunt. Or is the wind moving, or are we moving?
Or the
Yeah.
rotating. Is the wind just there?
Did the Earth just stop and like this is just
Yeah.
the leftover wind? You know, because the Earth stopped. It's like
Did
when
a-
you watch
did
a
an
digital.
asteroid go-
It's like when you watch a
asteroid go
digital
by the-
clock and it's like it'll stop on a second for like 3 seconds and then it catches up. You ever see a
Yeah.
digital clock do that?
Yeah.
Did it-
It's the same thing with the wind. That's what causes wind, according to Mikey. It's
Did
fine.
the asteroid go by Earth real quick and then it just left like its wind? What a sonic? I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe the Earth farted.
A bunch of volcanoes or something.
Is
That's
acid
what.
rain?
Yeah.
Is acid rain after the Earth eats Taco Bell?
After the Earth eats Taco Bell, that's when a volcano erupts.
That's what a
That's
volcano
diarrhea.
is. It's sharks. Oh my god. That's a good deep. That's a deep thought. I never thought
Yeah.
of that. What causes wind? What causes
Deep,
wind?
a deep fart? What?
When you're when you landed, Mikey, was it shitty weather when you got back into town, or did you get in?
It was
all of
really
it?
close. Yeah, like within like 20 minutes of us, of her dad driving us back, he was in his truck and he was still like it was the temperature was dropping really fast,
Yeah, it dropped. Like,
causing that rain and snow to like freeze like real fast.
Now he sounds like a meteorologist over
Yeah.
here. The temperature
Yeah.
drops real fast.
it did,
causing-
dude. It dropped
Yeah.
like 50 degrees in like 12 hours or less than that.
Here in Richmond, it dropped 40 degrees in 3 hours.
It went from like being like what 30 degrees to 40 below or something like that, or 30 below. Well, wind
Yeah.
chill anyway.
Yeah.
We got back to Indy like within like an hour or so before it starts getting bad.
Wow.
Oh no.
What?
Nothing. Nothing about it.
Who's taking us out?
Tim is. God, he always does.
Tim taking us out.
Tim's taking us out. Don't
Well,
forget all of our
where can you
platforms.
listen to
Oh.
us?
You can listen to us at where you get all of your podcasts.
Don't forget Facebook and Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, TuneIn,
Amazon,
Amazon,
Spotify.
Spotify,
Spotify,
The Tube.
and YouTube.
and YouTube. Yes, love
The
me
Hub?
watching some YouTube. No, we're not on Pornhub. Don't look for us there. If you find
You'll be
any
disappointed.
if you find any Future Nerds podcast things on Pornhub, it is not us. Now on Tube Galore.
What about Chatterbait?
I will be live there
Farmers
after the
only.
podcast.
You can check me out at Future Nerds.
See our feet? They're on OnlyFans.
Only feet. Yeah.
You can find me on Feet Finder.
Oh God. All right. End it. End it. End
You
it.
can check us out at Hoosier Nerds. Hoosier Nerds.